What's up, Hyperfast Nation? On this episode of the show, I'm going to go over the process of how to negotiate a low offer. Stand by, you don't want to miss this episode. All right, so one of the things that I think agents struggle with sometimes is how to negotiate a low offer. I think before we dive into that, we have to look at, well, what is a low offer and what is list price versus market price, right? These are all things that you need to have a good understanding of and that you need to communicate with your buyer clients and hopefully well before they're at that offer stage. So again, list price does not equal market price. And in most markets, homes that are priced correctly are going to move fairly quickly. We're still seeing this in most markets, even with interest rates being higher than they were a few years ago. So list price does not equal market price, and this is really true in any market. So this is consider this an evergreen lesson, right? You really need to study the comps, understand market price, and understand how long things take to sell. And if things are selling in 30 days or less and you're looking at a home that's been on the market for 60, 90 days, chances are the list price is well above market price. All right, so list price does not equal market price. And you need to educate your buyers on that up front. Hold on a second here. All right, so you need to educate your buyers on that up front. You also need to tell them that, even if the data supports their offer, right? And let's say the home is priced 10% above what market price is, and you've got the comps to prove it. That doesn't mean the seller is going to budge. And sometimes the seller is, just has a listing agent that didn't educate them properly. And you'll know, by the way, because you can, look at see, it's not that hard to research the history of the real estate and, see how long they sell things, what kind of volume they do, what percentage of list price they normally get. And if it's an agent that normally is selling things quickly and at, a high percentage of list price, or even maybe they average over list price, chances are they're just dealing with a seller who's not seeing reality. So even if your offer is justified, right, you have to set the expectations with your clients that they need to be willing to wait, that they might not get a response right away, that it might take longer, or they might need to be willing to lose it. Because even though it's priced below list price or it's priced well above market price, that doesn't mean that someone might come in and buy it anyway at a much higher price than you think market value is. Real estate is a very inefficient market. Sometimes there are quirks in the system and things sell for higher, sometimes for lower, right? It's not like going out and buying Apple stock where there's thousands and thousands, millions of like the exact same thing traded every day. So all it takes is one weird seller, one weird buyer, and pricing can change. It's a very inefficient market. So your buyer has to be willing to wait. They have to be willing to lose it. Now, I think if you're in this situation where, you think there's a huge disparity between list price and market price, it's a good idea to research the seller, find out if, they're at a company where business is down, or there's potential job transfers happening, or if they're in some sort of financial, situation that might make them more motivated. So, figure out, do your research, not that hard to do, on the seller, and see if you can understand their situation and their motivation. You'll, of course, talk to the real estate agent, the listing agent, and ask what their ideal time frame is. You can ask why they want to move. Sometimes they'll tell you, sometimes they won't, but it never hurts to ask. Ask what else is important to them other than price. And you want to make sure that your offer lines up so that the non-financial terms, right, like closing, contingency, all of that, right, line that up, make that as best as possible. Then you'll have more power to negotiate on price alone. The other thing you need to try to do as the agent is really take the emotion out of it. Okay. And I think if you have calm, logical discussions with your buyer clients, and then, the same thing with the seller, the listing agent, right, and make it, let it be known to them that you're trying to get a deal done, right? While of course, you have to advocate for your client. I think one of the good ways to do this is, if you present the offer and they're unsure about it, is to ask them, like, look, these are the comparables my clients looked at, and this is why we think market price is here. Could you help me out and let me know what kind of comparables you think the seller was using to come up with this price, or why they think the home should be priced there? Because when you come from that position of asking for help and then making it something the seller decided rather than them, it helps the agent I think get more on your side, and I just think that question, that line of asking for support, is going to help you get the deal done. So if you do all of those steps, initially, I think it's going to help a lot in the potential ensuing back and forth. And really, even if it's priced at a level that doesn't make sense, the seller might not care, right? And they may dig their heels in. So you're going to have to prepare your buyers of those possibilities that we mentioned up front, that A, they may have to wait, and B, they could lose it, right? So if you do that, I think you put yourself and your clients in the best position. And it really comes down to just knowing your market, knowing list price versus market price, and getting good at taking the emotion out of it. So if you can connect all of those things, I think you put yourself in the best possible position to get the best possible results when it comes to submitting a low offer. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you did, please leave us a review. Please share it with other real estate agents. And by the way, if you're a real estate agent out there wondering what it's like to partner with Carrie Shull and I at EXP, in our group, which now has hundreds and hundreds of agents, it's one of the fastest growing at EXP. We'd love to hear from you. Not only do you get all the great benefits of EXP, the low fees, all of the tech tools, the stock awards, the rev share, but you get us as partners, as coaches. We give you access to our courses. We do multiple calls per week. We do in-person masterminds, and we really become your partners in helping you grow your business and build massive revenue share. All you need to do to learn about what that would look like is send me a text message at 703-638-4393. Again, send me a text message at 703-638-4393. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Hyperfast Show. We'll see you next time.